Good afternoon in Swanage on a hunt for the sunny spills. Now heading through the alleyways in good old Swanage. Shall we find a sunny spell? The weather report said rain, no sun. See the first sunny spells coming, approaching the seaside here in Swanage on a lovely afternoon, 3:20. Here you can see the moorland. Here you can see the slightly blue sky. It is turning blue as the first sunny spells arrived. This is absolutely incredible. Yes, never trust the weather report. Just go.
Welcome to Swanage Railway. This is 34028 Eddystone, a fully Pacific, and it's in full working order here at Swanage Railway. Now then, as you can see, the most important thing on the footplate is the T. So we've always got working T facilities. Up here is the gauge glasses. That's water level in the boiler. You can see the gauge glasses at the bottom here, indicating a safe level of water in the boiler. Over this side here is the boiler pressure gauge. We're currently at 220 psi. The red line is at 250. And that's when the safety belts blow off. Hopefully we won't be doing that in Swanage. All these are isolation valves to prevent steam going to the auxiliaries. Okay, so we can isolate that stuff any time. Over here we've got steam test pressure gauge. We've just squeezed up on the train to release the coupling, so we've got a bit of steam test pressure still in there. Up here is a brake gauge. You've got 21 inches of vacuum showing here, and the reservoir 21 inches over this side. Over here at the moment it's showing 0, and that light's going off there. Hopefully it's still recording. But at 0 we've got a full brake up here.
My name's Robert and I volunteer on the Swanage Railway in Dorset, learning how to fire and eventually, hopefully, get to drive the fantastic locomotives that we see running up and down our line. I also volunteer with the engineering staff, so I'm learning not just how to operate these engines, but also trying to bring back and learn a few engineering skills in the background, sort of learn how they work and just really immerse myself in that sort of old classic feeling of mechanical engineering.
How did you get to Swanage first?
So my story starts when I was about 1 year old, and my family came on holiday to the area, staying at a local campsite. My family brought me down to see the trains, and my mum always tells the story. I cried when it came in, and then I cried when it left. And that was it. I was hooked. We were here every summer to just sort of watch the trains, hopefully getting a ride up and down, camping in the local campsites. And when I turned 17, I realised that I was approaching the age where I could start to get involved and start volunteering.
This is not a spelling mistake. This is a monument commemorating the famous Swanage poet Billy Shakespeare. Shakespeare was born in Worth-Matravers, moved on to Langton, finally enjoying his fame in Swanage and retiring in Dalston, where you can see this bench. Dennis, tell me, how did you get to Swanage?
Well, it's a rather curious thing. I was running a bookshop in Thornton Heath. My mate offered me a job coming to Swanage. Well, I must confess I knew little of Swanage before then, except some rather curious pictures of a ruined castle and stuff like that, yeah? And some bits and pieces of school trips.
What do you like particularly about Swanage?
Its historical connections are interesting. You can get out of Swanage, you can you can sort of in the woods and the outer places like that. It's quite mystical in places like that.
I was told you are one of the true locals here.
Yes, I am. That's true. Yes.
When did you start this lovely bookshop?
I've had it for 40 years now. We were 20 years in the High Street, and now we've been 20 years in Station Road. So quite a long while.
I'm here in the New Wave Gallery, and here is Gina, who started this business. Where are you from, Gina?
Weymouth.
And how did you get to Swanage?
By car?
Came to Swanage 1980 to work, and I was the manager of the old grammar school site, which had children visiting the area. They came for a week's holiday and visited Swanage and the surrounding area. So people came from schools from all over the south of England.
Well, in 2016 I came here on holiday, started drawing in 2015, so I stuck my neck out and decided to try and be an artist and sell my work, not having done anything like it before. It's now 2024, I've been doing it for 7 years, I now have my own studio, I walk around town wearing funny hats, I have outfits with art on as well. And currently I'm also trying to campaign for the area that I'm in the centre of Swanage and called it the heart of Swanage. And we now have a map, and we have leaflets and we have stickers, and we're trying to promote this area of town and get more people down here.
Here you can see one of the busiest businessmen in Swanage. Let's see if he's got a second for me to tell us something. Trevor, have you got a second?
A second? Who's got a second? Yeah, I've got a second. What's up?
I want to ask you how you got to Swanage.
Oh well, that's can you give me a hand with this first? Well, that's strange. What it was when I was about 14, I came down here with my youth club. The first holiday I ever had, and it was really good. I paid for it myself, and we went to Nitson's farm just outside Swanage, and it was really good. So my youth club started coming down every few years. We eventually decided to open up a youth hostel down here, and I was going to run it, and so I bought a house down here so that I could run the youth hostel. Yeah, have you been in here? We run the community centre from here, and the hub, which we just got this Perfect Radio moving in, so that's going to be really, really good. And of course the other shop down there where Dennis helps, that's all for fun.
Well equipped for sunny spells with sunglasses purchased at Birds Bits. Here you can see the busiest businessman in Swanage, chasing around town.
More like a headless chicken. I remember a good business friend of mine in Newcastle. He said, "Oh, I worked till 2 in the morning," and I was at the time when I knew him. And he said, "If you can't get your job done between 9 and 5 Monday to Friday, you're doing something wrong." And I think I've been doing something wrong for the past 30 years on that count. Oh, this is, that's our stores there. But this is where we run the Loft Community Centre as well. That's what it's all for. The two shops and the hub. That's where the Perfect Radio are going in. And here we have belly dancing, drug and alcohol awareness. We have a community cafe. Really, really good. My wife runs that, so do very well. We have plays. We've got a very famous former artist and writer from Germany coming over in the summer. You may know him.
What do you like particularly about Swanage?
I think it's a very cut-off area. There's only really 2 roads in, so it's it's a place that people come to rather than passing through.
And now for a bit of history. You remember Alfred the Great? Well, who doesn't?
Of course, these engines, fully Pacifics, were good for 100 miles an hour, weren't they? Well, they wouldn't be today. You're only allowed to do, I think, 75 on the main line nowadays. But there you go.
And here you can see the famous bell pipes of Durlston.
Alan, tell us, how did you get to Swanage?
I came from Cambridge, where I'd ended a chapter in my acupuncture practice, and I was also teaching acupuncture, and so I came from a city to a smaller town by the coast, where I could both practice and enjoy the beauty of the landscape, but also travel to teach in London or in the Midlands and continue that part of my life. And I enjoyed being by the sea, which I'd never actually lived by, and enjoy the interface of water and land, and the incredible almost volatility of changing weather and times during a day. Also, it's a very wonderful small town which has a myriad of different people here.
Alice, and how did you get here?
I came here from Manchester, and I came here to be with Alan, and I had recently finished a training in acupuncture, so I came to practice here in fact in Poole. And the other activity that I've developed here and was able to develop here has been my singing, with having regular singing lessons, and now singing with 2 different pianists locally, and doing some recitals, and this is just a great joy for me. And being here in Swanage, where the air is so special, the light is so special, and the nature around, the cowslips in the fields, and so on, it's just wonderful.
Bo's my boyfriend. I said, do you fancy going to Stevenage? He said, Stevenage? He said, oh, I don't know. I said, no, it isn't Stevenage. I think it's Swansea, because this lady said to me, would you like to swap my flat with your flat? And he said, Swansea? And then I kept on calling it Swansea. I said to Mummy, oh, I'm going to Swansea to live, it's going to be great. Anyway, it was Swanage. Never been to Swanage, never heard of Swanage. We came down here and we looked around, and I said, oh, Bo, I don't like it. We went for dinner on the seafront, and about 7 o'clock we were eating our dinner, and all of a sudden the light dimmed and the sunset, we saw the sunset, and then we saw all the twinkling of everyone's lights coming on, and the sea was just coming in and going out, coming in and going out. I thought, oh my God, this is like the south of France. This is like Saint-Tropez, it's beautiful. And so we went to the bed and breakfast. We woke up the next morning, and I said to the lady, I'd love her to swap my sunny Chelsea flat for Swanage, or Stevenage. So, yeah, I'm very, very lucky, and I met some wonderful people, some lovely friends I've met here.
Here we have the manager of this shop. Where do you get these fabulous sunglasses?
Shh, it's a secret.
The audience will have heard of the Loch Ness Monster. You haven't heard of him recently. He's retired, like a lot of older people do, to come to die here in Swanage. This is Swanage Bay, and that is Nessie in his old age, and it just shows some respect.
Teddy, you raised your hand. Does that mean that you knew all along that this was Nessie? Indeed you did. Well...
Good sunglasses improve your life, especially in the evening sun.
How can you be unhappy? You're in one of the best countries in the world. I know we've got problems, but also you're in one of the best parts of one of the best countries in the world.
And in summertime, if you don't find a bed in Swanage, just go to Durlston Country Park. You'll find a place to rest. And now, at last, you might ask yourself, how did you get to Swanage?
Well, it's a strange thing. Fate's funny, isn't it? You never know.